Thank you.
Come on.
Good morning, everyone. Wasn't that amazing? I'd like to personally thank Carrie for being so vulnerable and sharing her story. Her story really spoke to me. Okay, talk about really knowing your why, what drives you. What is pushing you to step into your greatness, to step into your purpose, to truly commit to why you're doing this? What is it that drives you? How lucky are we that we have found this vehicle? How lucky are we that we are the enlightened ones? We get it. We see what is before us. And now it's about acquiring the skills that it takes to become successful in this profession. But how lucky are we to even be here? So I'd like to welcome everybody at home who's tuning in. And Team Easy, we know you're watching. We love you guys. I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you who is here. For those of you who are watching at home and you haven't yet been to an Isagenix University, get to the next one. What happens in these rooms is pure magic. You don't want to miss the next one. So really, congratulations. I'm so proud of every single one of you who are here. There was a snowstorm overnight. You still made it. Congratulations. So take a quick second, give your neighbor a high five, go to left, go to the right, say congratulations for being here.
Congratulations for being here.
Susan Sly. How amazing was she yesterday? She talked about the inclusive why. And we would like to share ours with you. Is that okay? We are creating a powerful team of fearless and committed individuals who believe in the limitless potential of themselves and others. In partnership together, we develop a community focused on freedom, excitement, passion, and contribution. By sharing this opportunity, we influence those around us to raise their levels of integrity, purpose, and the abundance of wealth they deserve in their lives.
Now, what if I were to tell you that during every presentation that we do, whether it be a webinar or a live event, and the people that were at the START meeting on Wednesday night can attest to this, thank you, that as soon as we're done reading this mission statement, I look everybody in the audience and I say, if this does not resonate with you, if this doesn't make your hair stand up a little bit, if this doesn't sing to your heart or in your gut in any way, shape, or form, then please do me a favor. The exit is there. You're welcome to leave. And it's not to be rude. It's just that I don't want to waste their time, and I certainly don't want them to waste ours. And the reason we share this with you is because we can all teach you all the skills in the world. But if you're not going out every single day, crystal clear on why you're doing this, then none of the skills in the world matter. So before we start, a couple of questions. Who are you? How do you define yourself? A couple of years ago, I was fortunate enough to go through a very intense personal development workshop, and I found out who I am. I have a contract with myself. Would you guys like to hear it? I'm an inspiring, powerful, loving man. And through my gifts, I create inspiration, wisdom, love, and light. That's who I am. So every day that I go out in the world, that's how I show up. How are you showing up in the world? Are you showing up negative? Are you showing up easily put down? Are you playing small? Or are you being a stand for who you are? I can't answer that question for you. But the sooner you're willing to look yourself in the mirror and answer that question in an authentic way, the sooner you're going to create the results in your life that you deserve. The next question, and we talked a little bit about this yesterday, is what are your core beliefs about Isagenics? Do you believe that this is the best network marketing company in the world? Do you believe that we have the best products, the best compensation plan, the best leadership? Do you actually believe those things? Now you're clapping, which is awesome. But when the rubber meets the road, when you're out and about talking to people, is that really the energy that you're carrying? See, I am unflappable in my belief about what this can do for people. And because I am unflappable in my belief, people want to know more. Would you agree that confidence is sexy? And lastly, what's your attitude about you? These are questions that I want you to consider as we go through the nitty-gritty of some of the details of what we're going to share with you today. Sound good? Now, how many of you, when you first got started, were told, make a list? It's okay. Now, there's nothing wrong with making a list. In fact, it's an imperative process as you continue your career. You constantly want to be building your list. But how many of you, when you were told to make a list of 100 names, said, I don't know 100 people? And even if you do know 100 people, how many of you had the thought of, well, no one's going to want to listen to me anyway? And even if you did write down names on the list, you thought to yourself, should I even call them? What am I going to say? What if they say no? How many of you have had that experience? Because getting on the phone is scary, right? And it's okay to admit it. See, I've been in sales since I was 15 years old. And to this day, there are certain phone calls that are scary to me. Because we're not sure what to say to the person, right? We're not sure how to approach the person. We're not sure how to connect with the person. But what if there was a way, just hypothetically speaking, to build your belief and build your confidence and make you better on the phone all at the same time with never actually calling anyone? How many of you would like that? How many of you are fairly good at enrolling people, but you can't seem to create consultants? And how many of you are actually struggling with enrolling people as it stands? Thank you for being honest. So we're going to show you a technique that everyone that we work with gets started on right away. It is step one in our system. And what it's allowed us to do is it's allowed us to create consultants before their box even hits their doorstep. How many of you would be interested in that? So, we wanted to take the phone out of people's hands. And so that's what we've done. So here's what we've created. There it is. That's the magic. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to break down the psychology and the scripting of this particular post that goes on Facebook. Now, you're welcome to take pictures of it. You're welcome to write it down in your books. Some of you will go home and you'll change the post, and you won't get the results that I'm about to show you that you can get. Happens all the time. Don't change the wording. I spent several years as a professional copywriter. I copywrote my way into a wife.
It's true.
It's a true story. We met online. It's because I wrote a sales letter basically as my profile. It's for another time. She didn't stand a chance. So, I'm going to break this down piece by piece. Is that okay? Because the more you understand the psychology of how Facebook works, and Eden's going to get into it even more a little bit later on, the more you understand the psychology of this, the more effective you'll be in using these techniques. Does that make sense? So, after watching my friend blank, now you're going to enter and tag your enrolling sponsor's name. Why do I want to tag my enrolling sponsor? Somebody a little bit louder. Edify. What's that? So he can comment on it, or she can comment on it. But what it allows your network to do is it allows your network to look up your mentor or sponsor. And if they're properly branding themselves on Facebook, it gives your mentor instant credibility. Make sense? After watching my friend release, experience, or have blank, blank, and blank, so we're going to use some power words there. It could be numbers. Results are always great. So it could be, after watching my friend Eden release 12 pounds and 25 inches and have more energy than I'd ever seen before in just 30 days. Notice the words, in just 30 days. Are we a results-driven society? And even though isogenics is not a crash diet or a quick fix, do people still want a quick fix? So the hook is that this can work, and it can work quickly. So all eyes are on what's going on because of those words, in just 30 days. Using an amazing superfood nutritional cleansing system. Now, we personally don't say isogenics. There's nothing wrong with saying isogenics. But here's why we don't use isogenics. It's a disservice to your network. It's a disservice to the people that read the post. Why? They see the name isogenics, they click on isogenics, they go to Google, and they're going to see one of two things. They're going to see all these reviews written by people that are from other companies trying to redirect to their companies, or they're going to land on something like isamovie.com or isogenics.com, and they're going to look at it and go, I don't get it. What do you mean cleansing? How does it work? You don't have an opportunity to explain to them the value of what this system can do. And since we are psychologically programmed to make split decisions within 6 seconds of reading something on a website, they land on isogenics.com or they see a video on YouTube and they've made up their minds. And how unfair to them. Does that make sense? That's why we don't say isogenics. I decided, we're encouraging people to make a decision. It was time for me to experience similar results because I was tired of feeling exhausted, overweight, and out of shape. I'm so excited to get started and to get my body back. My system hasn't even arrived yet. Do you guys see what we're doing? We're already conditioning the person that's going to get started to post this as well. Because how many of you, several of you came up and said, can you guys please talk about how to overcome the objection of, well, I just want to wait and see my results first, right? Psychologically, at a subconscious level, this overcomes that objection. My box hasn't even arrived yet. And I'd love to have some of my good friends join me on this journey. So we're setting up the idea that it's a journey, that this is a lifestyle. We're already embedding retention. Does that make sense? Some of you guys are looking at me going like, whoa, what's going on here? That's all happening? It's all happening in the brain. We are complex human beings. I'd love to have some of my good friends join me on this journey so we can hold each other accountable. So it lets them know that they're going to have accountability. People love accountability, yes. We're letting them know there's a community so they can be the healthiest they've ever been. Who's up for looking and feeling their best? It is a simple, non-threatening call to action. Does this resonate with you guys? It's a simple, non-threatening call to action. Now experience the difference in energy between who's up for looking and feeling their best as opposed to, send me a personal message, you're going to lose all the weight, this company's amazing, I've never seen anything like it before, like, this is unbelievable, you have to join me because I cannot wait to make a PIB off of you. What's likely to get more results? So, everyone starts commenting. We've been doing this, 7 months now at least. We launch every associate like this. I've never seen an associate of ours get less than 8 or 9 qualified leads from their network. 8 or 9. Now, we talked earlier about how making your list is a little bit intimidating, right? Because you don't actually believe that people are going to want to join you in doing this. But what happens for the new person when they see all these people commenting? They go, oh my gosh, other people actually want to do this. This is real. I can make money doing this. I can really help people. People are actually interested, and all I did was post on Facebook. So then the question is, okay, well, they're all commenting. Now what do I do? We're just going to break it down step by step. And this is our playbook, guys. This is exactly what we use. This is our script. So people are interested. And in the comments section, you're going to say something like, oh my God, at Susie, it's amazing. A little bit too much to comment here and explain. I'll send you a personal message. That way you're not ignoring anything. There is nothing worse, guys, there's nothing worse than people putting up a post on Facebook. It's all mysterious and creates a bunch of intrigue, which is great, and then you just leave your audience hanging. Because that just creates more skepticism. Why can't you just tell me what it is? So, hey Eden, it's awesome that you want to join me in doing this. I'm committed to releasing, experiencing blank. You're going to restate your own personal goals because that creates relatability for them in the next 30 days. What are you looking to achieve? So what did we just find out from them? Their goals. Because isn't it hard for some of us to think about the idea of picking up the phone and calling someone that is in better shape than we are, and we feel like we don't have the credibility to talk to them? Because if I'm a personal trainer and you're overweight and you call me and ask me, so Zach, what are your personal goals? What would you like to achieve on this system? I'm kind of sitting there going, I don't know that you're in a position to ask me what I'm looking to do. I'm a trainer. And so what we're doing with this system is we're removing you guys from having to overcome people's natural judgments. So right away, we find out the goals. And we just reaffirm that they can accomplish that with our system. I've definitely heard lots of stories of people just like you. Don't miss that line. Just like you, who've done just that on this system. Them. Great, I can't wait to learn more. Since I'm just getting started, let's do this. There are 2 brief videos which explain how and why this system is so effective. Let's stop there for a second. There are 2 brief videos that show how and why this system is so effective. So what we're doing is we're putting the videos in context for them. so that when they watch it, they're watching it with the idea that this can actually help them, which is much more effective than saying, hey, I'm just going to send you some videos. Why? You guys got that? If I sent it to you, would you watch it? Yes, of course. Great. When can you watch it for sure? Now, this language should look very familiar to some of you. How many of you have read Go Pro by Eric Worre? If you've not, order it today as soon as we're done with session. But what we've done is we've taken Eric Worre's invitation and we've put it online for people because it's easier to type on a keyboard for so many as opposed to getting on the phone and delivering this, yes? Same scripting, so you're getting the same commitments. And psychologically, you're doing the same exact thing during the process. When can you watch it for sure? Now, how many of you have people that say, oh, I don't want to get on the phone with anybody, I don't want to do a three-way call or any of that stuff? We're going to overcome that right away. I ask because the next step after you've watched them is to hop on a call with my mentor, coach, business partner, whatever you guys want to call them. You'll love them. They are blank, blank, and blank. And right there is where you're edifying. They have a heart of gold. They've helped hundreds of people. I really believe they can help you in achieving your goals the way they're helping me achieve mine. So all the things that you guys are taught to do on the phone, we're doing it in a live chat. Does this feel a little more comfortable for people? And they can really help get all your questions answered. So immediately you're just telling them what's going to happen. You're guiding the process. You are in control of the conversation. Everybody following? I can watch it when I get home tonight from work around 6 p.m. Great. So if Eden and I were to call you at 6:30, you'll have watched them? I've now gotten 3 yeses. If I send you a video, will you watch them? Yes. Right? When can you watch it for sure? They give me a time commitment. And then a third yes, that if we call at 6:30, they'll have watched them for sure. Do you see how you're getting the buy-in up front? Okay, cool. Let me just confirm that Eden is available at that time this evening. She's super busy, so if not, are there some other times tonight that will work for you? Now, why am I going to tell the prospect that Eden is busy? She's valuable. How many of you have people that don't show up for their three-way calls? The only reason that happens, there are 2 primary reasons that your people do not show up for their three-way calls. 1, you're not building enough value up front. And 2, you're not edifying your mentor enough so that the person on the other end, your guest, values this person's experience and expertise and how they can help them. Make sense? I'm pretty open, so anytime, really. So you text your mentor, shoot them a Facebook note, whatever it is, find out if they're available. And then you reply back. Eden says 6:30 works for her. What's the best number to reach you at? I've collected a phone number, so that takes care of that icky, weird situation. Okay, great, we'll call you then. Now, what if that time doesn't work for your mentor? You know, they can't do 6:30, but they can speak to you at 8 p.m. Does that still work for you? Or, you know what, they're completely booked tonight. By the way, guys, that's not the worst thing in the world, to keep them waiting. It's not the worst thing in the world for them to want to talk to this person. It's actually a great thing. They can do tomorrow morning or afternoon. Which works best for you? You guys just did, on a Facebook chat, one of the most high-level sales closing techniques around. It's called the which statement. Which works best for you? Do people want to feel like they are in control of the situation? And nobody likes to be closed, correct? So when we offer the which, they feel like they're the ones making the choice. But who's really the person that made the decision? We are. So we're still in control, right? But our guest, our prospect, feels comfortable during the process. And so what's happening is we're continually opening them up And what we're really getting them ready for, believe it or not, down the road, is saying yes to a president's pack, or whatever pack they're ready to get started with. 2 p.m. would be great. Okay, great. When you get home tonight and have 15 minutes of focused time, do not forget that word, focused time in front of your computer, watch these videos here. Now, it says insert links. We personally have everybody watch Are You Toxic? And You + 2, Them + 2. But I want to say this to everybody. Whatever your team's system is, whatever video is the preferred methodology for your leadership, then I'm going to encourage you to follow that system because they know what they're doing, right? This is just what we use. If this works for your leadership and you guys, then fantastic. But we use Are You Toxic? And You + 2, Them + 2. Now, why do we have them watch You + 2, Them + 2? It's not so they can get products for free. It's so that you don't have to have this awkward conversation about how to bring up the business on the three-way call. They've already been exposed to it. So that when they are on the three-way call and your upline or mentor asks them, hey, can you see how easy it is to get your products paid for with the You + 2, Them + 2 system? Even if they say, you know what, that's not really for me, the seed has already been planted. You guys with that? Okay. That's it. Go be millionaires. So, a couple of technical things that I want to share with you guys. Under your privacy settings, and if you guys are watching from home, you can do this as we speak. Under that little lock, there's a drop-down that says, who can see my future posts? And I want you guys to set those to public. Believe it or not, so many of you, when you get home and check your settings, are going to notice that only friends can see your posts. So all these posts that you've been doing, you've been wondering, like, why don't I get a bunch of likes? Why aren't people commenting on my things? It's because nobody can see them except for your network. So what this allows you to do is it makes your entire status public so that your friends and their friends and their friends and their friends can see what you're doing. When you think about the geometric progression of numbers, have you guys just expanded your network into the hundreds of millions of people? One simple click. The next thing I want you to do is select who can see my stuff. Same thing. And then this is really, really important. I want you guys to go ahead and control the posts that you're tagged in. Eden is going to start to talk to you guys here in a second about how important it is to create a brand on Facebook. And if there are people that are tagging you in photos and links and things on your wall that are not aligned with how you are presenting yourself to the world, or not aligned with your brand, it's affecting your business. Take Starbucks, for example. If somebody decided to come into Starbucks with 4 goats, and the goats were just hanging around, knocking coffee over, eating people's clothing, and Starbucks didn't do anything about it. They just sat there and watched. Would that be good for Starbucks brand? So why are you guys going to allow people to post things on your timeline, like goofy cat videos, or Candy Crush, or any of those things, when they affect your brand? Eden's going to talk more about this, but everyone is watching every little thing that you do. I am like a hawk when it comes to my profile. I pay attention to every little detail because everybody is watching. So make sure that you guys are controlling all of your tags, okay? Sound good? And then you can do that through timeline review. Okay. Want to go back?
Is that amazing? Thank you, Zach. There's a ton of value there. And just to add something to that last point about controlling your tags, as your team starts to grow and you teach that initial Facebook post, ideally, you might have 10 people on your team tagging you on the exact same post within a week. So think about how it will appear, how spammy it will look if you have that same post show up on your timeline over and over and over again. Your network's going to be like, what is this guy doing? So that's why you want to be tagged so that their networks can establish that you're a real person. They can check out your brand, but you don't want them to show up on your wall repeatedly. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's talk about the 3 keys to establishing your brand on Facebook. Now, there are a lot of moving parts to Facebook. As we know, technology is always changing. However, there are 3 keys that have remained consistent since Facebook was started. The first is that you want to provide value. You want to provide a ton of value to your network because they're going to start to recognize you as a leader, and they're going to want to do business with you. This is not about selling. Nobody likes to be sold, but everyone likes to buy. So stop selling and start serving. How can you provide value that will serve your community? How many of you guys know why Facebook is so popular? Any ideas? Raise a hand. Connecting. Anyone else? Why is Facebook so popular? Yes? User-friendly? Yes. Promotes lifestyle. All great answers. Facebook, and it's free. Facebook is so popular because people are biologically programmed to want to be in community.
You can also find all your old friends on it, too.
Yes, you can find your old friends on it. People are programmed to want to be a part of a community. They want to feel connected. So people are on social networks to connect, not to be sold to. How many of you have ever been to a networking event before? Okay. How many of you guys have been to a networking event where there's that guy who's passing out business card after business card after business card so quickly that you barely catch his name? Are you more likely to remember the guy that stops, takes a moment, asks you some questions, connects with you, gives you a compliment? Are you more likely to remember that guy? Social networking is just like real-world networking. I'm going to repeat that. Social networking is just like real-world networking. And you want to identify ways in which you can provide value. Some great ways to provide value is by sharing articles and quotes. So you might want to find some articles, some important articles about health and wellness, or the latest findings about GMOs, or what athletes are using to peak performance. You might want to talk about the economy and what people are doing to earn extra money. So share articles, provide value. Don't just post the articles, but give some commentary. What were some of your takeaways? You'll engage people that way. Next, you want to establish yourself as a leader. Everyone loves to follow a leader. The first thing you'll want to do is make sure that you have a strong profile photo, a clean, professional shot. It might be of you doing something that you love to do, but have it be a clean shot. And listen, I love kids, And for those of you who are my Facebook friends, you'll know that I'm completely obsessed with our dog, George. However, I know that George can't be my profile photo. And why? Because people look to me as a professional businesswoman. People want to see what you look like. They want to know who they're going to be talking to eventually. So while your kids are adorable and your pets are really cute too, have the profile photo be of you. Next, your About Me section. Your personal About Me section is everything. Talk about who you are. What are you about? Where are you from? What do you love to do? What are your hobbies? What books are your favorite? Why do I want to connect with you? Okay? It's not about what you do for a living. Who are you? Why do I want to reach out to you? It's not about the company that you're with. It's about who you are. Next, you want to be consistent with your posts. You want to post about 3 to 5 times a day, not in a spammy sort of way, but be consistent. You're building a brand. And just like Carolyn talked about yesterday, your entire network is watching you. And it's in our nature, unfortunately, to want to watch people fail. There's this curiosity. What's going to happen? The more you're consistent, the more people know you're serious. And as you become more and more successful, all of the people who said no, they're going to circle back around. And they're going to say, yes, please, I want to be a part of what you're doing. Another way to establish your leadership on Facebook is to make sure that you're remaining positive. How many of you guys can think of somebody in your news feed who's constantly posting negativity? Would you guys want to be in business with that person? So go home tonight, look at the entire timeline history, delete all negativity, and commit yourself going forward to only posting about positive things. Yeah, we can get ticked off in the moment. Are we going to be impulsive and post about it on Facebook? No. How does that damage our reputation? People are making impressions of us and how we are in business based on how we show up in the world through our Facebook brand. This is really important. And you want to teach this to your team. The third key to establishing your brand on Facebook is building relationships. Now, I'd like to challenge all of you to shift your paradigm around what Facebook is all about. View Facebook as a key to marketing your business. It's not about what are you doing right now. Unless that's a display of your lifestyle and what type of freedom is being provided to you because of the network, because of the vehicle that you've chosen for yourself. Use Facebook strictly as a business marketing tool to establish your brand, to build relationships, to establish yourself as a leader. So yes, you can talk about your family and celebrate your kids' accomplishments, of course. That's all part of you and your brand. But be cognizant of the fact that this is the perfect tool that you have to show the entire world what you're about and how you can be a beneficial business partner to them. Now, as you're building relationships, you want to be consistent with your communication. When people are engaging in your posts on Facebook, if you ask a question and somebody comments, keep that conversation going. Don't leave them hanging. You want to take it offline as soon as possible and continue that conversation privately. But be consistent. Show people that you're willing to ask those questions and then show up to finish that conversation. If you have friends in other network marketing companies and you hear that they're doing well, post on their timeline. Celebrate them. Celebrate their wins publicly. Tell them how proud you are of their accomplishments. You hear they're doing great. Let them know that they're rooting for you. Because at some point, and this will happen, they'll be looking to move to another network marketing company. And you want them to think of you first. And that's the key to all of this. You are effectively establishing a brand so that when people wake up in the morning and they decide that they're ready to make a change in their life, they think of you first. I'm tired of waking up and looking in the mirror every single day and being unsatisfied with what I see. I'm going to call Zach today. I'm going to reach out to him. I keep seeing what he's doing. I've been watching him for a year. It's time. I'm going to tell you a story. A very good friend of mine, a woman who, established businesswoman, she was one of the first people I approached when I started Isagenix a year ago. She told me no. And I went back to her maybe a month later. She shut me down again. I gave up on her. A few months ago, I signed on to my Facebook one morning, and she had made an announcement that she joined another network marketing company. And at first, my ego was bruised, and I said to Zach, I'm so frustrated. Why is she insulting me like this? Why didn't she choose to partner with us? Well, the reality was, I didn't follow up with her. I let my bruised ego determine my actions. And I moved past that. I knew that it was so important to continue building this relationship. And if I could provide her value in her other company based on our experience building our team, I wanted to show up as a friend. So I asked her to go to lunch. And I did just that. I didn't try to pitch her. I didn't try to bring her on our team. All I did was provide value. All I asked was, how is it going? Here are some tips I can provide for you. Here's what I notice and how you're marketing on Facebook. Let me see if I can help your business in some way. She said, I've been watching how you guys market. I've been watching how you've built a community. I'm so impressed by what you guys are doing. 2 weeks ago, she joined our team. When you have pure intentions to provide value for others, the universe responds. And some people do take a year to come around, and some people, I'm sure, take 5 years to come around. But be consistent with who you are and how you're showing up in the world. Don't be afraid. A woman came up to me this morning, and she said, Eden, is it true? Is it true that a year ago you were just like me and you had no experience and you were working this job that you hated? How is it possible? She said, somebody tried to tag me this weekend saying that I came to Isagenix. None of my friends know that I'm doing Isagenix. None of my friends know that I'm doing the Ice Body Challenge. And here's my response to that. Don't be afraid. Just show up. Don't be afraid to show your vulnerability on Facebook. Don't be afraid to be the black sheep. You know in your heart what we have here is the most amazing gift, and we are so lucky to have found it. And like Zach said yesterday, and it got some laughs, but this is serious. In 5 years from now, people will look to you and say, you are so lucky you got in early. Truth. Just don't be afraid. You saw it first. They'll come around. This is the most important part of our entire presentation today. And I learned everything that we're about to get into. In fact, I learned everything that I just covered from Zach. Susan said yesterday In order to shoot to the top of this company, you have to be a master connector. Zach is one of the greatest connectors I've ever met in my life. When we first met, I thought I was off the market. I was pretty convinced no guy was going to get me. I wasn't dating. Well, he implemented his Jedi 7 not-so-simple steps. He tells me I was a laydown. Not literally. Being a master connector is a skill that you can learn. I did not have this skill 1 year ago. I learned it from Zach, and I'm constantly perfecting it all the time. The reason why these steps are not so simple is because you have to want it so badly. You have to be 100% committed to feeling the other person's pain, to learning where they come from, to having empathy. You have to be 100% committed to having compassion and caring and wanting to help other people and lift them up in this world. You have to be 100% committed. First step, everyone deserves consideration. How many of you have been to a butcher shop? Raise your hands. How many of you have enrolled your butcher? She says, I know where you're going with this.
She already knows the steps.
How many of you have considered enrolling your butcher? How many of you have passed up Jimmy Smith? How many of you have been to the dentist?
Please raise your hands.
I hope so. What if you could have enrolled Kathy Coover? We're so committed to being right. Right about who a person is based on what they wear, how they look, how educated they are, what their profession is. It's not our job to be right about that. And that's not to say that everyone deserves to be our business partner or everybody is a good fit as our business partner. That's not to say that. But it is to say that it's not our job. It's not our place to pass judgment on somebody based on how they look. You don't know who's going to be your next rock star. And how selfish to not share this opportunity with every single person that you come across because you pass a judgment on them as to whether or not they could be successful. How do you know? Number 2. Focus on making a difference in their lives. This isn't about you. And that's why in this compensation plan, the way you make money is by helping others make money. What's going to make a difference to them? And what's going to make a difference in their lives today? Is it an extra $1,000? Is it losing 20 pounds in their first 30 days? What's going to make a difference in their life right now? Is it earning $5,000 in 5 weeks? A question that we love to ask, and this is one of Zach's signature questions. If you had a magic wand, how much money would make a radical difference in your life? The same way that you go through the discovery process of learning about what somebody wants to achieve with their health, you also do that with the business. How much weight would you like to lose? What are some of your goals? How much money would make a radical difference in your life right now? When you focus on helping people achieve their goals and really help them understand how you can show them the tracks to get there, they will link arms with you. Meet people where they're at. This one is really important. And this is where the magic can happen. So if you're getting somebody started, and they're ready to get their 30-day, but they tell you they have to wait a week to get paid so that they can pay for their system, respect that. Say, okay, take the week. In the meantime, let me show you how to find 2 friends. So when you get started, you learn half of your investment back right away. Have compassion for where they're at. This step in the process is where you build trust. It's where they understand that it's about them and not you. If you have commission breath and you're just drooling for the credit card to come out, they're not going to get into business with you. Make sure they understand that you have them in mind. Because if you're looking for long-term business partners, this is where it happens. It's when you respect where they're at in their life, and you work with them, and you show them that you're in it for them. You believe in them. You want so badly for them to get the results that they're looking for that you're willing to wait. It's not about making a sale. It's not about closing a deal. When I was getting started, and again, not that long ago, about a year ago, I would debrief with Zach after every call. Even though he hadn't started building with me yet, I trusted his expertise. And I'd say, gosh, I totally blew that deal. I can't believe it. You know, I screwed it up. And he said, it's not about closing a deal. It's not about a deal. Meet people where they're at. Develop the skills. Learn from the experience. Connect with people.
Give it up for my wife, who's just unreal after only a year. You make me look like I know what I'm talking about. That's good.
You taught me everything I know.
Step 4, learn what they aspire to become. Why is this important? So you can help them reach their goals, but most importantly, so that when they join your team, you can hold them accountable to their why. Will your new associates have the same challenges that you've had getting started in the business? Will they have some challenges to overcome? But if I am crystal clear on your goals and your aspirations, and you know that I'm committed to assisting you in achieving those things, when things get a little bit rough, I can be your mirror. And I say, when we first spoke, you told me you wanted more free time with your wife and with your kids, and you wanted to spend 6 months a year in Spain. How serious were you about that? Listen and speak from within. Listen so hard that it hurts. Now, granted, this part is easier for me. I get it. Don't wait to talk. Listen. It's arguably the most important skill that you can develop is right here, is listening. So many times, we're so consumed with wanting to say the right thing that we're not hearing what's being said. And since we're so scripted in what we think we're supposed to tell people, we miss the point. When people tell you that an extra $500 today would make a huge difference in their lives. They're not telling you that it would make a difference in their lives because they can pay their car or their cell phone bills. They're telling you that because it'll help them breathe. It'll help them sleep better at night. It'll feel like oxygen being pumped into their lungs. And it is your responsibility to hear that that's what's really being said. Step 6 is share yourself. Eden touched on this when marketing on Facebook. My life changed when I was in that same personal development workshop, and the gentleman said to me, "Zach, you are more concerned with looking rich than you are with being rich." I was so consumed by ego. I thought I knew everything. It's when I got vulnerable and started sharing myself, my fears, my doubts, my self-limiting beliefs, that everything in my world shifted. Because people will always look at you and say, "You just don't understand. You just can't appreciate the situation I'm in." And not that I want to make it a contest with you, but as a matter of fact, I can appreciate it. Do you mind if I share a story with you? Do you mind if I tell you about the time that I was 27 years old and I was scraping for change under the couch at my parents' home because I was dead broke, and that's the money that I was trying to scrape up so I could go buy a pack of cigarettes? I get it. It makes you relatable. And step 7 is create a space to move forward. When can we meet again? When's a good time to follow up? I really believe you're the type of person I'm looking for. I really believe this vehicle can assist you. When can we talk again? I'm so looking forward to it. I'm really excited about what we can create together. Those are the 7 not-so-simple steps to authentic connecting. Ingrain these 7 steps into everything about what you do. Because these 7 steps, even though they are a skill, more importantly, they are a way of being. And earlier we asked a couple of challenging questions, right, about who are you being in the world and how are you showing up. Now you guys have a reference guide. When a conversation doesn't go the way you anticipated it going, you can check back. Where did I go on my 7 steps? Where did I miss? You have a formula. Sound good? Cool. So I know you guys want to know, how do we start conversations with people, right? Simple technique called past, present, future. Let's say I'm out and about, and I run into Jody. Jody, tell me what it is that you do for a living. You're a kindergarten teacher? Thank you for that. You're severely underpaid. You guys are laughing. That's exactly what I would say because I want to root that in. How long have you been a kindergarten teacher? For 2 years. Past. How long have you been blank? 2 years. You must really enjoy it. Do you absolutely love it? Yeah? Present. So Jody, do you see yourself being a kindergarten teacher for the next, say, 50 or 60 years of your life? Probably not. Future. Jody, what would you rather be doing? Vacationing? Where would you want to vacation to? I don't know. Anywhere. Anywhere? Give me an idea. Seattle, amazing. We actually have a huge training event coming up in Seattle in about a month or so. I might have a VIP seat available for you. Where else would you want to travel? What else would you want to do? spend more time with your family. Now, eventually, Jody's going to ask me, Zach, what do you do? Guess what, guys? There's a magic formula to answer this question. How many of you struggle with with not knowing what to say to somebody? Jody's going to ask me a question, what do you do? You know, Jody, it's really funny you should ask. I mentor kindergarten teachers. I plus action verb. I mentor kindergarten teachers on how to create an additional $5,000 to $7,000 a month so that they can spend more time with their family and vacation all over the country. Jody, does that sound like something you'd like to learn more about? That's it. That's the formula. You can now plug this in to anybody that you guys meet. So my challenge to you, my homework for tonight, is go home and make up a bunch of different audio business cards for the different professions that you run into. It's a simple formula, yes? It's just like an algebra equation, only with words, thank God, because I'm terrible with numbers. Does this seem simple enough? Is it us that overcomplicates the process? When we break things down to the ridiculous, we take ourselves out of overwhelm and into action. Our favorite business card? You guys want to hear it? Zach, what do you guys do? We own a network marketing company. Why are you guys laughing? How many of you realize that you own a network marketing company? How many of you guys realize that? Those of you that aren't raising your hands, let me clarify something for you. You are a wholesale distributor of nutritional products and an opportunity, and your chosen distribution model as the CEO of your enterprise is network marketing. Do you own a network marketing company? It's my favorite thing to say because then people look at you and go, oh, this guy must be making money. But it also drops people's guards. What do you mean you own? What do you got? What kind of network marketing company? This is powerful. It's really powerful. So, yesterday we told a story about the tiny frogs. How many of you guys remember the story of the tiny frog? Today I'm going to tell another story, but I'm going to tell a story about you, if that's okay. And so if we could just dim the lights, please. And I'm going to invite all of you to close your eyes. And if your eyes are open, I will have you come up at the end of this and sing I'm a Little Teapot in front of everybody. You laugh, but I will do it. The story is about you. And you are a seeker of truth. And in your search for truth, you are advised to go to a well. And when you find the well, you'll ask the well, what is truth? And the well will unveil the answer that you're seeking. So you find the well, and you ask that question, what is truth? And the well says, go to the crossroads of the town, and there you will find the answer that you seek. And so excitedly and eagerly you run to the crossroads, only to find 3 very random-looking stores. And in the first store, they sell wood. The second store, they sell metal. And in the third store, they sell wires. And you are extremely confused because in no way, shape, or form does this seem like an answer to your question or quest. And so you leave very, very frustrated and very, very angry, and you go back to the well. And you say, the answer I was seeking was not there. And the well responds, you will understand in the future. And you're furious, and you're yelling at the well, but all that you hear back are the echoes of your own voice. And you leave the well that night, and you continue on your journey. And eventually, over time, memories of that night at the well, they fade. Until one night, you find yourself walking in the moonlight, and you begin to hear the beautiful sounds of a sitar playing. And you can't help but be drawn to this beautiful, incredible music. And as you approach the person playing the sitar, it's not the person that you're attracted to, but rather it's the sitar itself. And what you notice is that the sitar looks so familiar in that you see the wood and the metal and the thin wires from those 3 shops that day. And what you understand and realize is that everything you are seeking is right in front of you, and everything that you need, you have, and it's only a matter of taking different fragments and being willing to perceive them and see them as one, that we are able to create a new entity within ourselves that can play the most beautiful music in the world. We all have stories about who we are. We all have self-limiting beliefs and doubts and fears about our reality. And my encouragement to you is to stop believing the lies and to know your worth and to forgive yourself for not seeing the sitar as one when you were first introduced to all 3 segments, because those pieces are still within you. My challenge to you as you leave here this evening and as you go back out into the world on this mission and this movement with us is to shine like the bright, brilliant light that you were designed and born to be. And you give people 2 options when you shine your light. They will either be blinded and they will turn and walk away, or they will be awakened to what is possible in their lives and the lives of others, but it is your responsibility to shine and be brilliant. Thank you guys so much. You are all amazing.